Welcome to Market Moves ETX. This podcast is hosted by David McAtee, a real estate agent with Realty One Group Rose in Tyler, Texas. Each episode is created for East Texans who want a clearer understanding of the local real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or simply staying informed, you'll get straightforward insights, local context, and practical guidance without pressure or hype. Let's get started.
A lot of folks think the hard part is over once the offer gets accepted. They assume everything is basically done and all that is left is waiting for closing day to show up. The truth is that is actually where a lot of the important work begins. I think this part of the process matters because people can get caught off guard if they're not prepared. Buying and selling real estate is not just about signing papers and moving boxes. There are a lot of moving pieces happening behind the scenes that can affect whether a deal makes it all the way to the finish line. First thing that usually happens after a contract is accepted is what we call the option period. During that time, the buyer has the opportunity to inspect the property and really understand what they're purchasing. This is where questions start getting answered and where important decisions begin taking shape. An inspection can uncover things nobody expected. Sometimes it is something small, and sometimes it is a repair issue that creates bigger conversations between the buyer and seller. This part of the process is less about emotion and more about understanding the true condition of the home. After inspections are completed, negotiations often happen. Maybe repairs need to be addressed, maybe credits are requested, or maybe both sides need to revisit expectations. This is where experience and communication really start to matter. I've learned over time that real estate requires patience, especially in moments like this. People can become emotional because there is money involved, expectations involved, and sometimes family decisions involved. Good decisions usually happen when people slow down and focus on facts instead of pressure. After that, the lender continues working on financing approval. Even when a buyer has already been pre-approved, the loan process still has several steps that have to be completed before closing can happen. There's document verification, underwriting, and final approval that all take time. At the same time, the title company begins its work. They make sure the property can legally transfer ownership and verify there are no unresolved issues attached to the home. A lot of people never see this part, but there's a tremendous amount of work happening quietly in the background. Then comes the appraisal process. The lender wants to confirm the home value supports the amount being borrowed, and sometimes that creates another challenge if the numbers do not line up. This is one of those moments where people realize the market responds to value, not expectations. I always tell people there's no crystal ball in real estate. You can prepare well and still run into unexpected situations because every transaction has its own unique moving parts. That is why having the right guidance matters throughout the process. I remember early in my real estate career, I worked with buyers for months and built what I thought was a strong relationship. In the end, I lost that deal because I had not secured the right agreement and learned a very hard lesson about process. That experience taught me that small steps in real estate matter more than people realize. What happens between contract and closing is often invisible to clients, but it is one of the most important parts of the entire transaction. There are deadlines, negotiations, lender coordination, title work, paperwork, and constant communication happening almost every day. Good representation means making sure none of those details get missed. I believe one of the biggest misunderstandings people have is thinking agents simply open doors and collect commission checks. In reality, a lot of the job happens after a contract is signed. This is where responsibility really shows up. If there is one thing I want people to remember, it is this. The closing table does not happen by accident, and every successful transaction is built on dozens of small decisions being handled correctly. Taking your time and working through the process carefully usually leads to the best outcomes.
Thanks for listening to Market Moves ETX podcast. For more local real estate insights and written articles, visit marketmovesetx.com. If you'd like to connect directly, you can reach David at 903-437-7126. That's 903-437-7126. Market Moves ETX podcast is hosted by David McAtee with Realty One Group Rose in Tyler, Texas. We'll see you in the next episode.